Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Right. Welcome with Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome. One of the things I want to tell you is brought to you by Dispose. This is a company that's doing great things, and I want to make sure I let you know more about it. We started small, and we're getting bigger, but without your help, I promise you, we will never be great.
Yes.
I want a company to be a great company because I came from other companies.
Absolutely.
And I learned how to give customer service through that experience, and I want to be able to show you my experience by giving us a call. And that is that number. That is Dispose, LLC, and let alone, you know my number, right? 770-286-7526. You can call me directly if you like, because one of the things I want to do is let you know it's personal. And that's what we do over here at Dispose.
Yes.
Now, I got to get back to the person who's been rocking with me since, 4 years? September the 14th? Craftmatic, how you doing, big babe?
I'm doing good, man. Doing real good, bro. Everything is lovely. Just
still glowing over there.
Keeping my grind going, you know. That could be the skin cream that I use.
I don't know what it is, nigga. You got that high flow glow.
But people radiate how they feel.
I know this.
Right? That's the way the world works. You can meet anybody on the street and you can pretty much know how they feel by how they radiate. Or how they don't radiate.
Or how they smell.
Or how they smell.
Yeah, you be like, whoa,
yeah.
You got radiation going on.
So doing good, man. How you doing, Big J?
You know something, man? I challenge myself all the time to fight for happiness.
Happiness, yes.
Ever since I said I'm going to incorporate happiness in my life, it's been a challenge to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think one of the reasons why it's a challenge is because it's so used to doing it one way and you trying to change it to another way. Now I'm bringing it to the forefront.
Yeah.
I got to make my mind wrap around it because that's what I want.
Yeah.
And a lot of time my mind wrap around what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to achieve a bigger picture.
Oh man, Jay.
And to paint it, you got to think it.
Yes.
And if I can't think it, I can't paint it.
Yes.
So my mind keeps me one way, and I try to get my mind that it gets to another way because we got to incorporate it because we going to live our heaven.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to live a hell.
Yes.
Because my mind puts me there because of other things that's been shackled to it is not going to shackle to me.
Right.
We got to get it back to giving me that calmness. So meditation, taking time, and getting understanding of what I'm doing.
Yes.
That way I can continue incorporating.
You preaching tonight, Jay.
Man, I'm telling you, it's a long way. And that's why I gravitated to you because I need that energy.
Yes.
And that's why when you come glowing and I don't have it, I can get it.
Absolutely.
I don't have to hate on it though.
Yeah.
I don't gotta say, man, crap, whatever.
Yeah.
See, that's where I want us to get away from. Don't hate what you don't understand.
Don't hate what you don't understand. And I think that's a perfect way to introduce our show tonight.
Okay.
My name is Craft. First of all, this is Bar Talk with Jay.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay. And we are here to simply liberate you with great dialogue. We're going to have a conversation tonight, and we hope that you can dial in your own mind, understand our opinions, experiences, really find yourself in our dialogue. And I'm asking you to make some clear decisions about what you would do, what you won't do, how you'll handle the situation, et cetera, et cetera. We want you to find this show as therapeutic as you possibly can. Hopefully it'll give you some good nuggets that you can leave tonight and take into your life tomorrow so that you can make better decisions for your own self. So we thank you again for being here with us tonight. And of course, we always start the show off with a prayer. I didn't know, Jay, if you want to do a prayer tonight.
Nah, you got this one, bro. Give it to him, Craft.
Okay. These are always short prayers, but let me set it up a little bit because this just came to me like right as the intro music was coming.
Okay.
That, those of us who are faith believers, we do believe in the Word of God.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very beginning of the Word of God, God said, "Let there be light."
Ooh, let it shine.
And I oftentimes think to myself, what was going on in the Spirit of God before He called for the light?
He see me in the dark. I need to put some light on that young man right there.
So I think all of us, every person, is seeking the light. And there needs to be something brewed up in your spirit before you actually speak light into your life. I want to deal with the brewing up to speak life. Right? I don't know how this is going to go, but let's just talk to the Lord about it a little bit, shall we?
Go ahead.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight on another fantastic show with Bar Talk with Jay. We thank you for the opportunity to be here and to liberate folks' minds and spirits. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you would do a special work in us tonight by helping us to understand why and how you spoke, "Let there be light." We're simply asking for the inspiration from within, Lord, to do our very best in this life. What words do we need to speak? What messages do we need to deliver? What relationship do we need to have with you, Lord, in order to bring more light into our lives? We ask, Heavenly Father, that you would be here tonight, that you would inspire this show with a great dialogue and for us to have a fantastic time. We know that your word shall be spoken, pure, whole, and complete, and in righteousness. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. No crap, man. You gave me one on that one, man. When you said that one, you made me think. Because when I work within excellence, I'm working early in the morning until the morning, until noon, all the way to late evening.
Right.
But one of the things I can tell you, a lot of times you try to do things in the dark that you wouldn't care to do in the light. Like with me, I would be quick to tell you, you just do certain things. But if you know somebody was looking, you wouldn't do it.
Right.
My whole thing is to cast a shadow on you and realize if you measure the things that you're doing then, why can't you do them like if light was on you? If somebody was looking then, just because the fact they're not, is not a time to shame that away of the goodness.
Yes.
To continue a bad, because I'm telling you, it's become a habit.
Yes.
Even though you're a good person, we all have habits.
We have some bad habits.
And these habits need to have some light shined on them.
Yes.
And I'm saying personal reflection.
Yes, Jay.
For you to make change, because I promise you're going to keep going that way because it's not going to be bad to you no more. It's just a habit.
It's a road. It's a dead-end road.
Did you know?
Those bad habits are dead-end road. They're going to do nothing but steal your potential, take from you, hurt you, etc., etc. And yeah, some self-reflection is like shining the light. Right? It's like taking a look within and saying, hey, what do I really need to do better? How do I really need to check myself? You know, self-accountability is got to be the stronghold of humanity, right? My willingness to see myself and maybe see my faults and then improve myself, right? Now, the other side of that equation, I like the way you took that, but I'm thinking about, you were using words like pre-thoughts. And I need to think of it. I need to live in my heaven. I need to get in the driver's seat, so to speak. And that's what Let There Be Light, I believe, is all about. It's God knew that he was about to walk into a place that might be dark. But what he was going to do is he was going to set precedent over that place before he got there. So when I arrive there, there will be light. You see what I mean? What's the purpose of a flashlight? It's just so it can guide your steps. So you can automatically decide what is the right step, right? What is the right path to take? So I shine light on the situation so I can be able to assess the situation. And so I'm encouraging folks.
Can I throw one more thing?
Yeah, please, man. Go ahead.
Because you're on the road.
Go ahead.
One more thing. A lot of times we go through dark times. That's what the Bible does.
Yes.
It gives us words of insight.
It gives us
light.
Yes.
Because again, when you're in a dark place that you ain't understanding what you're going through.
Yes.
If you read into, you can see some things by reading some things that you can't see because you're clouded.
You're clouded.
Today's times cloud you.
Yes.
There's words written a long time ago that would change you if you get into the word, not in of yourself. The problem is we get too much into us that we forget about what was already done.
Yes.
That's where history can help you. But most people feel like history is just for the past. Well, we repeat. Yes. So if you understand your own habits, you can change your own. Right. So now you're not repeating your own bad habits. That's all that is.
That's all that is.
And that's been written.
Yeah.
We just ain't reading it, we ain't understanding it, but we keep on repeating.
Yeah, and you know, the whole premise of Minecraft, man, is that we're catching people at that place where we help them know what they don't know, or we help them begin to remember what they already knew.
Read it.
Right? It's about, the word, and a lot of the messages I'm bringing comes from the word. So I'm bringing light. And when people inspired with the light, they'll do something stronger and better. I did a talk this past week on fairness. And I talked about how you need to declare and claim your fairness. Nobody's ever going to give you fairness. Fairness does not exist in the world. Fairness is relative. It's based on your strength or your weakness. And if you're weak, then you're probably going to be treated unfair. If you're strong, you're going to be treated fair. And so I had a situation where I talked to one of my creditors, and they was trying to do some razzle-dazzle BS. And I thought to myself, wow, this ain't fair. Let me fight for myself. See, I was inspired by that word of fairness, and now I'm fighting for myself. That's where the light came on, and that's where we have to get everyone to in terms of their entire life, how they make decisions, how they manage money, how they vision themselves in life, what they see when they look in the mirror, how they feel about themselves, how they feel about the people around them, et cetera, et cetera. We got to bring those lights, man, and that's right. What Minecraft is all about.
And that's why I need Minecraft, because when they said that shit about me, yeah, they was right. I ain't paid. I was so, bro. I pulled it out the hat. I ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
Yeah, but you don't pull out the hat.
Well, I pulled out the hat because I knew nothing was gonna come out that hat. I was gonna pay anyway. I was just trying to tell her that to give her some hope.
Yeah.
As soon as she come out, I got it.
Yeah, and for you folks who are just joining us, this is what we do. Right? We want to elevate your mind with some inspirational dialogue. I don't know who else is doing that in your world. I don't know if the TV programs that you're watching are doing that, or YouTube videos that you're watching, but when you come to Bar Talk with Jay, we about handling business of life and about improving yourself. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we're about growth, and this is some powerful dialogue, man, so I really appreciate that first part of the segment, Jay.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and cover last week's topic quickly.
Okay.
Last week we talked about age ain't nothing but a number. What'd you get out of that, Jay?
Whew, it was a lot. And I really got to tell everybody, go back and listen, because it's so much. It was profound.
It was profound.
I would like to say my man Jeffrey did what he always do.
Yes.
Slap the taste out your mouth.
Yes.
But I had a special person come on, and it was Pastor Anthony.
Yes.
And I really liked the fact that he came on because he brought a light that was different, that was already shining.
Yeah.
Had a special guest that gave her special rendition, because again, people come here and they speak freely. And this is how we have great communication. You shouldn't be doing just what somebody else say. It's about what you feel.
Right.
God lies within you. We are trying to release what you already know. That way we can all shine. And I like to say that show shine in a way that it changed my thoughts of just an age. And I had to go with Jeffrey and start signing NBAs, because I can't be responsible for all the things I do to people. I would knock an old granny person out, and a young person would probably be in debt.
You just don't care.
I'm just gonna say.
Now, see, that's how you sway. Last week, you had a nice little relationship flow about you. You know
but
what
I
I'm
threw
saying?
that out because it's another week and I done changed. Because I looked at
and you done changed that fast, huh?
And you always want better.
Yeah.
And one of the things, my past experience is not to linger in the past. It is to make a future stronger and better. So one of the things I can tell you is about making change and not staying the same.
Yeah.
So like I told you, last week I changed because I'm a different person this week.
Right.
You should always revolve. If you don't like what you do, change what you do.
There you go. One of the big points that came out of the show for me was young lady that was sitting here. What was her name?
Oh, she coming back.
I can't remember her
Don't
name.
worry, you'll see her in a minute.
But yeah, she's going to be here represented tonight. But she talked about connection. It's about connection.
It was.
No matter what your age is, it's about how you connect. And there's all kinds of things, obviously, that can happen when you're trying to date or be in a relationship with someone who's not your age, who's much older or much younger. And one of the things that I really like about the discussion, I brought this up, is how do you deal with someone coming into your life who's not established in life?
Oh, wow.
You are established, they are not established, and so do you bring them in? You gonna cast them out just because they had a bad luck in their life, or
Pastor Anthony said out.
Pastor Anthony said
out.
If you're not equal, he says that basically you're not equally yoked.
You ain't gonna be you're gonna fight the equally yoked. You would never get achieved.
But listen, I gotta believe. I was just thinking about that over the week. I gotta beve that when you start analyze and equally yoked from the physical world, then you're really not operating in the spirit.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's got to be a problem with that a little bit. You know what I mean? I think you got to pray over that one a little bit, because, you know, they may have had a hard time in life, but they could be the perfect Mrs. Right for you, or the perfect Mr. Right for you. They may have had some jail time, and they may have had some debts, and they may have had some troubles in the past, but the past does not set precedent. And we have to continue to remember that. If people were judging us by, if people could walk up to you and just see your entire past, like, you know, your whole life would be like on this billboard right in front of people, you wouldn't want nobody judging you for some of the stuff that you have done. You would not want to judge somebody for something that they have done, because people can change. And we don't see it often, to be honest with you, but people can change. And so the connection is the key. Again, it was a very, very good show. I hope you folks can go back and take a look at it. We are all over the internet. Check us out at Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and there's probably a few others out there that
I name a couple of them. Black Planet, Offer Up, Let Go.
Listen, Black Planet, that's a long time ago, bruh.
Hey man, I ain't young.
Is Black Planet still thriving?
Yeah, I don't know about thriving, but we on it. If you gonna look at we there.
I hope it ain't one of them websites that's just sitting there.
You know, sometimes it's sit till you go to, a lot of times things make you go back.
Yeah.
And they'll still find us.
Yeah.
So it's like taking it in a bottle and burying it.
Okay.
You don't never know who's gonna dig it up, but when they do, they got something coming to them.
Yes. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and by the way, we are here Facebook Live, but you can check us out at bartalkwithj.com. We're also here every Thursday, Facebook Live, 7 to 9 p.m. Please come out and join us. Watch us live on the show. And continue to like us, share us, subscribe, share us, subscribe, share it with friends and family. You know, again, this is positivity that we're just not seeing in many other platforms. I'm going to go ahead and give us our topic for tonight, and then we are going to go ahead and take our first break. We are actually right on time. So the topic for tonight is celebrating our men. Ladies, do we need to do more? Or is Father's Day enough? Now we're gonna go all over the place.
Oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I got some avenues for this topic.
So do I.
Celebrating men, and we are celebrating Father's Day coming this Sunday. For those of you who may be watching this program,
they don't forgot
sometime to come.
That you did it ahead of time. They still ain't gonna remember.
Yeah, we're gonna dialogue about Father's Day and the importance of fathers in our lives, and I think we're gonna do some good justice out of this, man. I'm really wanting to wake us all up.
I feel neglected over here, but we're gonna try.
You feel neglected? Why?
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay, y'all stay tuned. We're gonna be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay. With Jay. Yes. We got anybody on this segment, Jay? Is it me and you?
Nah, it's just me and you right now, man.
Okay.
I got Jeffrey coming on the next segment.
Okay.
I got Buddha coming back in the building. I got special guests still coming in. It's one of them 2-hour shows, so we got a surprise.
Yeah.
We got to keep it going.
Yeah.
But we got to keep the juices flowing real quick, because we're going to have a little fun with this Father's Day. Let's just say.
Okay.
Women have Mother's Day and Valentine's Day.
Okay.
All right? Let's look what us men got. Okay. Father's Day. One of the days is not recognized worth a damn. Okay? Just keep it real. Now, let's go with the other day
Depends
that we
on
got.
Your household. Depends on your
household. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's on average. I talk to a lot of people. So we're going to talk about this other day that a lot of people know a little bit about. It's Sadie Hawkins. I call it Shady. They call it Sadie Hawkins. That's when you was in school. And that's when the girl asked you, to the dance. Okay, now it goes way back because that's how y'all might remember it. Because if you hear it any other way, you ain't remember that damn day. That's another day for us men. Why is it our day is just like pushed to the side, and then the gifts you get ain't no thoughts, bro. It's socks. There's t-shirts. I'm talking about ties that you can't wear with nothing. It must have been on sale. I don't know. And I ain't gonna say it's for everyone. I like to say, overall, again to my kids, I love my kids to death. For the fact that they love me, that's all I really need.
Okay.
And I've been very blessed because anything that somebody can give me, I've been blessed enough to give to myself.
Yes.
But I do love the fact that somebody just calls me and recognizes me.
Yes.
Because it ain't about that one day.
Right.
I do stuff throughout the whole year. And if one person calls me just on that day and they don't call me no more, they ain't that close to me.
Yeah.
I appreciate them for what they do and how they call me. Because it's not like I would ever turn my back on a person that recognized me. But I promise you, to me, it's way more than a day. That's just like Mother's Day. I would not do for my mother on one day when I cherish this woman. I'm looking for her long term, all the time. I would want somebody to do the same thing for me. So I'm just saying, let's go back to being equal, where we start looking at each other the same. I really feel like we're falling short because some of the things that done plagued us.
No, it sounds like you pleading for some more love.
Hey, what you saying on that craft, man?
When you say go back and make it, you say you go back and make it equal. And so your argument here is that men don't get the attention that women get.
We get plagued because there is some men, and let's be honest, there is some people that does not step into fatherhood. They go from a boy to a man by default. Let's just keep it real. And they ain't taking responsibility, and it shines a very negative light on people.
Yes.
Don't let that light shine over here when I ain't doing it. So again, for all the ones that's doing all these great things, we're gonna shine a light back on you, regardless of the negative things that somebody else might say. I'm tired of that. That's why we need to make a change in America today. Everybody has a bad concept of a slave mentality. Quit talking about a person because of color, creed, or what you don't like. That doesn't mean the next person is the same way. Let's stop that and start cherishing the fact that there were good people there. Just because you ran into one that didn't do good, don't mean there's not a good person out there. Because all I hear is the negative. But yet, even I do positive, yeah, that's just you. And that's what I deal with a lot. When I talk to a person, it's like, yo, just because you feel that way don't mean everybody feel that way. And I'm trying to get them back focused on us, as in, hey, I'm trying to be a good person. Yes, just you. So it's deflected again.
Yeah.
Let's stop deflecting and start accepting. There is some good people, so now you can go back and say, I know a good person. No, it's better. Now, Jade is different. He is crazy. And that's all I get. And then you get pushed to the side. There's no elevation. It's just push. That's like a tolerate. Why? I celebrate you. Celebrate me.
Right.
I'm just saying. And not with socks. Please.
Well, listen, let me ask
Father's
you
Day coming up, please.
I'm glad you came back to Father's Day.
Okay.
What is an appropriate Father's Day gift? Well, if it ain't socks, what does that look like?
For me?
For men, period. Just
For if I say you want to,
what's a decent gift for
to
Father's
me,
Day? Let's give some ideas.
being honest, I would like to say get to know the person that you want to give a gift for.
The father, yeah.
Yeah. So when you looking for a father, what do we do? If you look at me, all the jobs I have and things that I do with my talk radio, believe it or not, I get a lot of gifts at Bar Talk with Jay. It is so meaningful to me because this is something I wanted to envision, I wanted to bring to reality, and somebody else bought something with it on there. It means a lot to me, okay? So some people be like, well, you got enough of that. I'll never get enough because it is something I want everywhere.
Right.
So it is reflecting back to that person. If you're a person that dress, it might be clothing. If you're you like smell, it will be cologne.
Okay.
Please just don't go to Target. I'm not just naming Target. I'm just saying, if nothing. My whole thing is understand what brands he like. Just don't go somewhere that's got something on sale and spray something on somebody. I'm just saying it don't work good for everybody. Cause my brother go to Target. I keep telling him it don't work with your whole. Yeah, it don't work for you.
It depends.
No, it don't depend. My brother's my age.
You know, I
be like telling them.
Yeah,
I don't know where you go. Don't go there.
I don't mind socks. You know, I don't mind T-shirts and underwear.
Why?
You know, well, you know, I usually keep them for a while because I take good care of them, and so it's nice to have. You know, but
hell no, that's the lower the bottom.
Yeah,
Man, you better spend some money.
Yeah, okay.
I spend money.
Some watches and clothes
Something.
and. You know, but listen, I do believe that it should be a thoughtful gift, something that he can use maybe on a regular basis or on a specialty occasion. I do believe that it should be something that's meaningful to him and not necessarily just meaningful to the giver, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody know household stuff.
We experience.
I learned my lesson. I bought my ex-wife a vacuum cleaner. She cussed me out so bad. She was like, yo, I know you don't think this is... So I learned an inappropriate gift.
Yeah.
She ain't learned.
Yeah.
You kept giving it to me. You taught me, but... And that's where I feel fairness, because again, maybe I need to speak up more.
Yeah.
And that's why I say no socks. It's not about I don't like socks. It's not like you didn't like t-shirt or you might have needed them. It's just you want to be more thoughtful with a gift.
And it sounds to me like you as a father, is that to suggest that you're not feeling as appreciated as you probably should feel or want to feel?
The craziest thing, Kraft, is one of the things I would tell you is what really make me feel appreciative when I just get a phone call.
Phone call.
I'm not all about the gifts. I'm older.
That's good.
I'm not about the gifts.
Yes.
Most things you buy me, I probably already have, and it's gonna go on my counter. If you come to my colognes, I have a large amount of cologne. Clothes, I have wardrobes, closets, and it's not the brag. It's just saying I gather some things through time.
So
but what I would say,
right?
I just want to be remembered by people. And that right there is how I want to live my life in a better way, where I impact somebody that care enough to call me and say Happy Father's Day or Happy Birthday or dude, how are you doing?
Yeah.
That, how you doing?
How you doing?
My God.
Yeah.
Goes so much further.
On a day that's not Father's Day is the breadwinner. That's the breadwinning activity right there. When you are reaching out to these fathers or these special men in your world, on the non-special days.
Yes.
On a Wednesday or Thursday, you just want to call and say hello and see how you're doing and what's going on and checking in on you, thinking about your pops. And well, I tell you what, as a father, really as a person in general, and I guess this is for men and women, to feel really and genuinely appreciated is something truly special. It's beyond any gift. It's beyond anything anybody can give you in the world. Just showing that you love them, showing that you appreciate them, showing that you care about them, showing that you remember that they was with you when you was going through your hard times, or that they support you. It's just such a powerful event, and it kind of leads me into where I want to go. I want to deepen this subject here a little bit.
Where you want to go?
Because think about it this way. There are a lot of households where the father is not present. And so now the households may be feeling a lack of father.
Right.
And because the household feels a lack of father, then they have a tendency to not celebrate father. So now we have a whole constituency of families and homes throughout America and the world that don't celebrate fathers because fathers weren't there. Mm-hmm. And I know that men in general kind of feel very much misunderstood. So for example, it's Father's Day, we really could care less. It's a wonderful day, it's another holiday, and if somebody we think in our minds should pay us some homage and don't, we're not bothered by it at all. And those who show appreciation, we just receive that appreciation. We kind of have to live in that position, right? We kind of have to live on the place where if we're not as appreciated, then it doesn't matter. It's just what we have to do. It's just who we have to be, you know. And when I say feeling appreciated, that, you know, you mentioned, you know, right out of the gate, women seem to get a lot more attention than the men. I can tell you that there are many households where the father is doing the right thing. He handling business, he taking care of the family, he come home, he doing what he's supposed to do. But it just seems like he don't get to enjoy the fruits of his own labor. All of his fruits are for the family and for the house. And men, you know, I know many of men who have told this story. Man, I've been doing stuff for kids I've been doing stuff for my family and my household and my kids for years. I ain't did nothing for me. And even though if a man would sit down and just, you know, come to terms with that whole scenario, he just might feel underappreciated. If he sat down and said, man, nobody called me, you know, I don't get no gifts for the holidays, you know what I'm saying, I make sure the babies got monies, they don't reach out to me and check on me, you know, no time, and, you know, it just seemed like the whole world is about everybody else, and I'm the one supposed to be making this thing happen for them, you know, I just really don't feel appreciated. There are a lot of husbands who feel that way. There are a lot of men, especially men who are, you know, basically tied to their careers, and work kind of owns them a little bit and, you know, slaves them around a little bit in the world, that they don't really get to enjoy the fruits of their own labor. Their enjoyment is watching other people enjoy the fruits of their labor. And that's part of what I'm talking about here, how men feel misunderstood. But no man is going to get credit for his presence and for his effort in the world as a father unless he plays the role of a father. And that's why a lot of men are not being celebrated, because they are fathers, they're dads, whatever you call them, but they're not in the homes. And so they're not being celebrated. Yeah, you know, if I get you a pair of socks, that's more than I did for you all year. You know what I'm saying? That might be, you know, I might not have seen you since last Father's Day. Right? So there has to be some, what I'm really saying here, it's kind of deep, is that there really has to be some level of empathy for the fathers of the world not being celebrated, because the intensity of fathers' celebration doesn't happen because a lot of fathers aren't around. But there are fathers who step in the gap, do what they're supposed to do, make things happen, and those fathers absolutely should be celebrated. But even those men will tell you they just don't feel like they are.
I'm going to tell you all day long, this is one of the things I can tell you. It's not about Father's Day. It's not for me.
It's not about Father's Day.
No. One thing I can tell you, if that's what you honor and that's what you go for, I feel like you're going to fall short of the glory. It's about others. It's not just about your kids. You got to love others. In my lifetime, I would tell you, I wasn't in my girls' lives. I was married and I had my boys, and then my girls was by Shannon, and she's up in Ohio. But I always talked to my girls. I wasn't in the house. Just because you ain't in the house don't mean you don't have to be present. You can still have a relationship with your kids. Even though you're not there, they understand you and respect you. And again, it helps when a mother respects you as well. So it's all in that communication and understanding. That got me a great relationship with my girls, even though it was a distance. But they still travel down here, they visit me, and they love me.
Yes.
My whole thing is it goes further than that. There is people that I dated, their kids still respected me and understand me.
Yes.
I always treated them like they were special.
Yes.
Not like I was their father.
Yes.
I wasn't replacing anything. My whole thing is I have to show somebody respect to get respect. These young people need to understand that we do care for them regardless of the fact that they got a parent or not. And when I enter people's lives, it's not just to destroy. If you destroy, you don't even care, right? I cared enough that I still kept in contact with them. We got great relationships, and now I was honored last year. I went down to Florida, and a young lady told me, this is not my father, but he shows me what a father figure is like.
That's powerful.
Now, when you realize, when you enter people's lives and you can continue to add a positive light, that makes my day. And she put it out there towards Father's Day. I just happened to resurface it. The bottom line with me, that's what life is about. How many people can you impact? Not in a negative way, but in a positive way where somebody can shine a light on you when there's dark times in front of everyone.
Yes.
But they still see you as a vessel that don't have to do it, but did do it.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to get back to. My challenge tonight is to get these good men to continue shining, because again, there's so many people that can talk about somebody. Can you remember a good person in your life? I did a challenge to a lot of people. I asked, can you name 5 people you believe in? 5. That's the challenge tonight. Can you name 5 people you believe in? And if you can believe in 5, I challenge you to get more.
That's a Minecraft question right there.
Because
you feeling that?
It's hard to get 5 because belief is not just about trust. It ain't about being a friend. You gotta align. And that right there is a challenge, because most times you don't care to do that.
Yes.
Because it will put you vulnerable. I promise you, most people don't want to be hurt. That's why they don't believe in other people. My whole problem with that, not being hurt, is why we ain't coming together.
There you go.
Father's Day should be a day of celebration. Men, let's get together. Let's celebrate in a way that everybody will respect.
I like that, Jay. I like that. Men get together and celebrate. That's pretty awesome. Men celebrate men. That's awesome. We're gonna go ahead and take our next break. I want you folks to stay tuned. That smells so good. What?
Man, let me tell you,
Woo,
during these intermissions, we try to do so much.
Yeah,
But
we do.
the person I got up next, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know what kind of day he had. If his day went bad, you about to get slapped in the mouth. Jeffrey, how you doing, big baby?
Brother Jay, what's going on, sir?
You got me nervous again, man. You be doing that. You stayed at home today, Jeffrey?
Stayed home today, yes, sir, brother.
Okay.
Brother Kraft, what's going on?
What's happening, big time? Everything is lovely, man. How are you today?
Oh, man. You know, the sun came out today with a little clouds, but it was still a good day. It was a nice little temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Everything was clear. Not a whole lot of traffic, but just enough to let you know you live in Atlanta. But in spite of all of that, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why you might be single, but before we get into that, here is my disclaimer. Now, see, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you, and if it does apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them, because you're about to learn something tonight. Lady, you go first. All right, ladies, some of y'all are single simply because you understand attachment, but you don't understand connection. See, let me break it down for you. See, you find all types of ways of getting attached to a man. You get attached to a man and his height. You get attached to a man and his look. You get attached to a man and his wallet. And you get attached to a man and his wood. But in his mind, you've never connected with him. You've never connected with his soul. You never connected with his spirit, with his heart, or his desire to build a foundation for you to flourish under.
Wow.
You've not connected with anything about that man, but you got attachments. The value of that man, or the value that that man is looking for, quite honestly, is outside of your purview. So he detaches himself from anything having to do with you and leaves you unattached and single.
Yes.
Man.
That is so good. That is so good. And that happens so often, bruh.
There's a lot of people walking around in them shoes tonight, Jeffrey.
Never quite thought about it like that.
I don't even think they can wear high heels. They fall over.
Attachment, but not connection.
Nope.
That is genius, man. That is absolutely genius. Won't even take time to comment on it. I just love it, brother Brother Jeffrey, we're going to hand it back over to you.
I said, Jeff, you did so good, we can just skip over the men.
Well, fellas, don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook. Fellas, you are next. All right, fellas, now, you just might be single because you understand conquest, but not commitment. See, you can go out and get a fine woman, and she's a serious catch. I mean, you chase her, and she slows down and actually allows you to capture her. But when you get her, you ain't got nothing else. No companionship, no cooperation, no class, no comfort, no clout, no confidence. Not one thing do you bring to the table other than the conquest. And you definitely not bringing commitment. Now, because you don't have the testicular fortitude to be able to give that woman anything but a headache, anything but a heartache, anything but deprivation and depletion of her finances, women too smart for that. So they avoid you like the plague, and they leave you and your non-competent ass
He didn't even say single.
I said sorry.
He said they just leave you.
Yeah, you out.
That's good, Jeffrey.
Man.
That's good.
Shut it down.
They don't leave your ass single, they just leave you.
What you are, who cares?
Yeah. Listen,
You just left.
I'm going to be honest with y'all, folks.
What's that?
At the very first statement, you believe in conquest, but
Right.
not commitment. I felt a little
I
convicted.
thought it was coming for me.
I felt convicted.
But when he kept going, I was like, hell
But when he
no.
was talking about companionship and clout and confidence and competence, etc., I'm like, he ain't talking about
Yeah,
me.
nah,
That's not talking about me, man. I just love, I imagine women is probably somewhere cheering right now for what Brother Jeffrey just said. That, yeah, you can get me, but you ain't keeping me. You ain't locking me down, And, there's some things that men go through that they, refrain from that kind of stuff for a little while until they're comfortable or get enough pressure or decide to back out altogether. But I imagine some women are really proud of that comment. And so with that, I'll leave that over to you, Brother Jeffrey.
Oh man, I got a really big compliment today from a colleague of mine. She said that I just want to shout out my friend Jeffrey because he stands in the gap for me. Now she's a single young woman, she's an attractive woman, but it ain't that type of party.
Right.
We do business together. We work together to try to make some money.
Right.
And every now and then she needs a little masculine energy with stuff that masculine energy is better suited to handle. Like she don't really wants to negotiate stuff with businesses. I do that part. And it's not that she can't do it. It's just that that's the role that I fulfill very well in our relationship. Another thing I want to say is sometimes in her moment of weakness, she's had to lean on my shoulder a little bit virtually or get a kind word or something like that. And it's no big deal. It's not a moment of weakness that's designed to turn to intimacy. It's a moment of provision and protection. And so what I want brothers to understand, more so than anything else, if you can be there for a woman just as a consistent person, a consistent, viable ear, sound logic, not trying to get in her pants or anything like that, you will be amazed at just how much that means to women.
Yes.
Because they don't get it like that. There's always an ulterior motive.
Yes.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, you might find a fine woman out there that might be destined to be more than just your friend. What I want you to understand, though, is more important right now than the conquest is that provision that we provide. So it has to be more of us. There's some of us young brothers out there now on the front line. It has to be more of us out there, though. Because when I see a video of a young lady getting hit in the mouth with a skateboard and knocked out, and the young men who witness that don't do nothing but laugh, they need some grown man energy around them. Grown man energy rectifying the situation.
Right.
However it needs to be rectified.
Right.
But stuff like that, we ain't got no more time for that. And once we step in the gap like that, what happens is our women can concentrate and do things that happens to be their specialty. And our children get to witness us standing up and showing out for the community. That makes them stronger and more confident. And when our children are confident, they're ready to jump up and partner and do stuff right with us. And when the family unit moves in unison, it's a powerful thing to see. Right now is the barbecue. Everybody got to bring something to the barbecue, and not just some damn paper plates and Tupperware. And that's all I got to say.
Okay. That's how you really feel.
That's good. That's good. You know, Brother Jeffrey, we're talking tonight. That's so good. We're talking about celebrating our men tonight. And, you know, we subtitled it with ladies, do ladies need to do more, or is Father's Day enough? What would be your commentary on that, Jeffrey?
Okay. Now, ladies, I love y'all to death, but y'all can be some self-centered creatures at times. Y'all can just look at everything through a myopic lens where you only see what happens to you, for you, and, you know, that's all. I need you to take that lens down. Now, I'm just going to be completely frank with you. I'm unfriending every woman I see proclaiming Happy Father's Day to all the women out there doing things on you. I don't give a damn. I'm unfriending your ass because, first of all, it ain't Mother's Father's Day. It's Father's Day.
Yeah.
You had Mother's Day. So you don't see us coming over there trying to take your shine. I actually, when I go shopping and I see Father's Day cards that say Mom, I hide them. I put them in the because I be doggone if another woman get a damn Father's Day card, Mom, while I got something to do with it. Now, I don't steal it. I just put it somewhere where it's harder to find that motherfucker. I love what y'all do. I love the energy y'all bring. I admire it. I respect it. I honor it, and I cherish it. But sometimes you can't recognize what a man does and what masculine energy looks like because you ain't never seen it. You don't understand it. You ain't never seen it in action. Every view you have of it might be negative. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just for once, remove yourself from the equation and think about how much you wanted to see your father. How important it would be, or if you have a father, how important he was to you, your uncle, your grandfather, your brother, whomever it is, that teacher, whatever male role model you saw that's positive, focus on that and let any type of bitterness fade, and your ass will be all right over the weekend.
I love it.
Hey,
listen, that was genius what he just said.
That was nice.
He's saying, remember the role models that you've experienced in your life. Let that be a part of your celebration. And Brother Jeffrey just simply is not interested in women taking celebration shots, you know, during Father's Day. And I completely agree. That is our time. Jeffrey, I know we got to get out of here, but I briefly mentioned earlier that the fathers are oftentimes not celebrated because so many fathers are out of the home, are missing out of the home. They may not be missing in action, but they're not in the home, they're not getting daily, and so, you know, you don't see them a lot, you don't think about them a lot, you don't celebrate them a lot. That potentially is why men are not celebrated as much as we would like. What would be your comment on that?
You know, I can't disagree with the numbers. The absence of the father has had a detrimental effect on our community, on our boys, on our girls, on our men, and our women.
Yes.
I mean, it is the single most common factor found in our incarcerated youth. The lack of a father in the household is the biggest contributing factor to young black men being in prison. I will tell you this. Outside of that, there's some macroeconomic, macro socioeconomic impact by the way that they have purposely gone after our black men. I'm going to say this, and then I'm good. I want you to understand something. Every police officer has discretion. They can pull you over for anything outside of, violent crime or something like that. And they can write you a ticket or they can arrest you. Even if they catch you drunk driving, they can say, okay, you got to call somebody to come get you. I'm going to write you a ticket, but I'm not going to take you to jail. I'm not going to give you a DUI, but I'm not going to let you drive because they have discretion in the field.
Yes.
What happens, though, they come after us in a way that's ridiculous when it comes to sentencing. The same judge in the same week with the same crime sentenced the white boy to like 90 days or some ridiculous amount, and the black boy, same age, same crime, same record, to 26 years. 26 years.
Wow.
So, ladies, what I need y'all to understand, and I'm dead serious with this, sometimes you got to take the focus off you and recognize that it ain't just you. It's us. And if we are attacked, you are attacked. And now, fellas, don't think I'm forgetting about y'all. All this foolishness about not holding it down for our women, about not representing and reminding people of how Sandra Bland was brutally arrested and ended up dead. Our sister Brianna was in her home, sleep, killed, no charges. Nobody accountable for that. How a beautiful young sister, I can't pronounce her name. I'm going to do my very best with her name. But she, 19 years old, killed in Florida. Her name is Toya Salute. 19 years old, raped and killed by a brother. All I'm saying is, there's more for us to do as well. Now, it's not just the men. It's not just the women. It's all of us going in the same direction. I don't care if you're pulling or if you're pushing. As long as we're going in the same direction, we'll address these things and we'll solve them. And that's all I got.
And that's all
Jeffrey
we
for
need.
president.
That's a drop the mic. That's a drop the mic statement.
Write him in.
So, listen, Brother Jeff, we thank you so much, man. It's time for us to get out of here. Any parting words, my friend?
Man, happy Juneteenth up in this piece. I'm finding like 5 or 6 black restaurants on tomorrow. I'm going to all of them, supporting all of them.
Right.
Juneteenth up in this mug. And you know what, fellas? Ain't nothing better than Juneteenth except for Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all my brothers out there holding it down, doing what you're supposed to do, and represent for fatherhood. Black fatherhood is important.
Yes.
The black man is important. Love y'all guys, and shout out to both of y'all.
All right. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll see you. We'll talk to you next week, man.
All day.
All right. Peace out.
All right. And that you have heard from the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey. It is time for us to take our next break. Y'all folks stay tuned.
Oh, look at it. Oh, soft voice. Don't be like that, girl. You spoke loud last
You
time.
reached into the mic, too. I like that.
I
That's one of my
like that.
favorite
And
things.
then, besides her, we got Buddha. Buddha back in the building. Buddha, how you doing, big baby?
Slow motion, you know how it is, baby. Always.
Okay. Look at him, boy. That's just Dr. Love right there. Well, you gotta watch Buddha. He want that Buddha. You gotta watch Buddha. Yeah, Buddha want Buddha.
Just call my name, Phil. I told you.
You like feeling on people.
Look,
Feel I'm on.
Oh, Lord.
I feel amongst you.
I told you.
What you told?
I'm black, my name Phil, and I'm bald. That's the only thing that we have in common. That's it.
You look like Eminem or Reese Pieces. Really?
Wow.
You my boy? You my boy?
Let's get to work.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get back to this. Let's get back.
All right. So tonight, folks, we are talking about celebrating our men, and I think we have done a pretty decent job the first half of this show, really describing, these celebrations, Father's Day and Mother's Day and Valentine's Day, and we don't get enough attention, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about why men aren't celebrated. And I do
You have
have
that roll in your damn eye. Roll it on.
yeah, that's what we needed right there.
I see.
Systematic
Because
display.
listen, I was having a conversation with Jay outside before the show, and Jay, you know, right off the top of his head, he was spinning this notion that, you know, all men are dogs and
No, I ain't what I said.
man.
I ain't say that.
No, you were
said-
talking about it.
I said, y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't around. Y'all ain't dedicated. You make it, but you don't stick around with it. You know, and again, it's petrified because people been going through a lot of things when it comes to different relationships.
And they're fine.
Everybody doesn't step up. Let's just be real.
Everybody doesn't step
And a
up.
lot of time people have to hold that. And that right there is not a good feeling.
Yes.
So when you are a good man and you deal with somebody that's been through that, it's extra hard because I got to show you I'm not that person.
Right.
And then you are protecting your child, and I should be protecting him as well.
Right.
Because as a man, I'm looking at your family as a completion, as in, even if I don't work out, I'm not to hurt anyone.
Right.
And I hate to say it, some people don't care. They just want what's in front of them.
Yeah.
I ain't never want to meet your kids, no way. It's just about you. It can be a disrespect, being honest. But the whole thing is, I like it when you not immediately introduce, because we have to make sure, and you got to make sure I'm a good fit.
Yeah.
But at that point, it takes me to be an honorable man to realize that I have to pour more things into. That's besides what I have. And if you ain't willing to do that, then why are you messing with her?
Right, because that's a reality, and I never even thought about that side of the story. Is that people, you know, her kids come with her,
Yes.
right? Her kids are a part of the equation, and if you if you don't want the kids, you definitely
No, because I
can't
met some
have
people
her.
that got some badass kids. You got to make a decision. When them kids bad as hell, and you know you can't add nothing, no matter how the loving is crazy or whatever.
You can't add nothing.
You gotta back up and say, at this point, I can't add to this because your kids you need to just keep pouring into them because anything I can pour gonna be an overflow. They need Jesus.
Yeah.
They need direct prayer.
Yeah.
And you gotta back away. Now, some people say you just cold-hearted. If you can't add value and you ain't willing to add value, then don't waste a person's time.
Yeah. And again, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about how the not the role of the father, but kind of the perception of the father is quite challenged, particularly in this country, right? A lot of people, a lot of households, when they think of father, they don't have good thoughts. They don't have family thoughts when they think about the father of these children. You have something to say about that, Miss Stephanie? What's your opinion on that?
I have so many opinions.
I'd love to hear it.
Lord.
There were so many different directions that we could address right now, but one thing I want to mention as the woman on the panel, some of us don't know how to celebrate Father's Day because we were never exposed to that.
Yes,
When you're
exposure.
growing up in a single parent household, I never saw my mother do anything for my father,
Okay.
let alone even know him.
Did she ever talk about it?
Never even seen a picture of it.
Okay.
So,
We needed you in the studio tonight. I got some questions for you. Go ahead.
so for me, it took some time to even learn how to celebrate Father's Day and to also not personally be bitter on Father's Day because I did not have a father to celebrate. So it becomes layered.
Yes, it becomes very layered. And let's talk about a little bit of all of that because all of that's rich. So when it was time, for whatever reason, what caused you to begin celebrating Father's Day? Was there a certain Father's Day you remember, a certain person that you remember that made an impact? Even to this day, is there, what makes you celebrate Father's Day? Do you celebrate just because the world celebrated, or are you still bitter?
Not bitter. Definitely not bitter about it. But celebrating it is when I did have my godfathers around, I celebrated. I respect my friends who are good fathers. So I make sure I reach out to them.
Yes.
But to have that Mother's Day type Father's Day celebration,
Never, huh?
I'm not the one to ask. I just don't know.
Yeah, I know all of how you
Yeah.
just saying, girl. I feel the same way.
And so let's go 10,000 feet. How do you feel about Father's Day?
There was one thing that was mentioned that I honestly do not agree with, and I've had some of my female friends challenge me on this. I do not like the Happy Father's Day to all the single ladies or to all the mothers. I do not like that. Because as wonderful as we are as women, there is something that our DNA does not allow us to give to the children. We are not fathers. We are exceptional mothers, but we are not fathers. So I have rejected Happy Father's Day. I reject that.
You reject it, huh?
100% is a hard no.
Yeah.
I
Brother
do not
Jeffrey
do that.
obviously would agree with you on that. So do you have any emotions that come up as Father's Day approaches? As you think about celebrating Father's Day, does anything in particular hit you from your past or your history?
Not at all.
You're kind of numb to it?
Just numb. It's not a bitter. It's not a happy. Just it is what it is. You don't really miss something you know nothing about.
Yes, absolutely right. And let's deal with that, because those were the two things that you mentioned. Let's deal with that. The fact that you've never even seen a picture of him, you don't know him, what does that do for you now? I mean, how do you reflect on Father?
I respect fathers, and I made sure that when I had my daughter, I loved her more than I hated him. And I didn't even really hate him. It was nothing. It happened.
Okay.
And she has a great relationship with her father to the point it makes me a little upset because she does more for her father on Father's Day than she does for me on Mother's Day. You gotta fix that part of it.
Hold on, calm down, player, calm down. Hold on over there.
That's
fix
good.
that part about it.
That's good.
So
That's good.
I went out of my way to make sure that she maintained a great relationship with her father.
Yes.
So I don't have any bitter feelings. I when she was younger, of course, I would spend the money for her to go to the store and buy something for her father. Now that she's grown and out the house, she spends her own money to do what she wants to do for her
Yes.
father.
Yes.
So I just have no feelings. For me, it's a day of, let's see what's on Netflix and chill, like by myself.
Netflix and chill, all right.
It's just another
Let's
day.
get that Netflix and chill.
Yeah. And you can tell me if I'm going too far. You know, it doesn't sound like I'm bringing up anything emotional here for you. But does your commitment to your daughter being her father being in her life, her father being in her life, does your commitment to that relationship have something to do with your lack of father?
Absolutely, it has everything to do.
It makes it very intense.
I wanted her to have what I did not have. I didn't have a choice, so I wanted her to make sure. I wanted them to be close.
Yes.
And it is because I did not know. Still to this day, I don't know.
Yes.
And my goal was that he would impart some of the wisdom that men give to children, and especially little girls. It shapes their decision making.
Yes.
And at this age, I can honestly say I made a lot of piss poor decisions because I did not have that guidance.
Okay.
So it was very important for me to make sure she had the other side of the picture.
Yes. Yes, that's good.
Man,
This has been a natural progression, but what I'm seeing coming out of this is a discussion about how single moms respond to their children's father. And that relationship has a lot to do with how your children will see men. And, are you not letting him in the house because he doesn't want to? That's one thing. But are you not letting him in the house because you're bitter about what happened some time ago? Are you not letting him in the house because he might tell your kids what happened? Are you not letting him in? I mean, what is the reason why one would keep their children and their father separate? Because it happens a lot. We know, we've heard many occasions on men, I want to be a part of my kid's life, but that ain't nothing but a hornet's nest. And if I come around, now she start popping off at the mouth about me. She's saying stuff. The kids got to hear her say stuff about me, etc., etc., etc. And it pushes fatherhood, fathership away from their children. What would you say to that?
It's hurt feelings. That's all it is. It is, the woman is still hurt. Because when you're dead to something, you're not happy, nor are you angry. Because angry is an emotion.
Yes, it is.
So when you don't have any emotion for that person, it doesn't matter. But when you still have that bickering, there is some kind of hurt feelings and emotions that that person may or may not have gotten over.
Yeah, and you know, the hard reality is get over it because your children need their father.
That's right.
And the fathers want to participate, even if it's at an elementary level, even if it's at just seeing them every so often. You know, obviously men who are in the court system have child visitation assigned along with their child support. And even some men who have the right to do it don't feel privileged because it's going to create so much mess. They don't want to come around. And I think this is just the kind of show that we can at least say the words. Women, we are asking you to have more compassion, not for your children's father, but for your children's relationship with their father. Because they will get to know him. If he's no good, if he won't help, if he's not supportive, they'll see the truth. But you need to give them the opportunity to see that truth. Because what will eventually happen, I believe, is that they're going to resent you, mom, because you didn't afford them an opportunity to get to know their father. And now the father may be trying to still come into their lives after they leave home and still just can't make a break because they're too far gone. Still can't make a breakthrough because they're too far gone. This is a huge issue in this country. And you know, the only way to get through it, I would say that we got to get through it from the inside, not the outside. We can get through it with policy and rules and procedures and court systems and da-da-da-da-da, but we got to get through it from the inside.
I disagree.
And the inside's really got to be love. I think that's how we make the wholeness of it. We got 1 minute. Go ahead.
Well,
2
we
minutes.
got 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll piggyback once we come back from break.
Oh yeah, I want to hear your comments. You always disagreeing with me, man.
No.
So yeah.
Only on one portion.
We got 3 minutes. Okay, we got 3 minutes. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you have to understand first that the fathers are systematically displaced. So then you have to tap into the mindset of how and what the system does to women in regards to displacing that father. So it is up to that woman and also up to that man to decide to break the cycle. Because if the man and the woman can't come together to break the cycle, you have the loss of the family. And the only place that is really like this is with black families. Because you have to understand what the black family and what the black man stands for.
Okay, watch this.
Hold on.
Black, white. I got just 1 minute. We got
Okay,
2 minutes,
yeah.
30 seconds.
Go for it.
There's probably not a woman under the sun who would blame the system for what her man did to her. Right, you see what I mean? That we can take in consideration the system, but she looking at, nah, he did this, he did that, he did that. I never had a father. He didn't know the role. He didn't play the role of a father.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it is up to her to make that decision.
I know, but
it's not to blame it on her past, because as long as she's looking at the past, she can't move forward and build with the future.
Well, I totally agree with that. No one can disagree with that. That's rich in and of itself.
And the system is damaging.
The system is damaging.
Very damaging.
Very damaging.
Yes.
I will be the one woman to say I honestly never filed child support. And the reason why I did not file child support was because of the system.
That's powerful. Let's go ahead and take a break. That's rich stuff. Appreciate it.
No, we come back.
Appreciate it, Jay. Yeah, we're going to be right back. More Bar Talk with Jay. segment was the truth, man. It was the truth. Because, we know the system. By the way, folks, we're talking tonight about celebrating men. And we do know that the system, particularly for black men, is perpetuating a lack of fatherhood. It is perpetuating. I mean, when two people do the exact same crime, and the black man gets a horrific sentence, and the white man gets, a slap on the hand, you automatically have set precedent for fatherhood, and that is systematic. And again, we're going to have to change the rules and the policies. We're going to have to get more involved in the world of politics. But I'm hoping we can do something on the inner before then, and that means making a greater effort to, give fathers an opportunity to be a part of their children's lives.
Like that.
Just simple like that. Just really take us. Think about it, ladies. Think about it. There's somebody listening to this show who really needs to reconsider their baby's father's interest in their children's lives. They are missing so much, and anyone who have grown up for any period of time without their father will tell you that, there was a lot of things I probably could have gotten from my father. There was a lot of strength that was lost. There was a lot of great messages that was lost. I didn't get to see that example. I wasn't exposed to the quality of a man. How does a man treat his day? How does a man treat his wife? How does a man treat his kids? How does a man take care of business? What does a man say when you trouble his household? There's a lot of things that you get. I know when something happened around my house, I pretty much knew how my father was going to respond. And that's how I manage my home today, in the same exact way. So there is a lot of great value for your kids to receive from the father, even if he's not the best of fathers.
Oh yeah.
Even if he's not the best of men,
I got a story for that one.
you still have to give him a chance to be the father. Now, if he doesn't want to, and one of the pet peeves I have with fathers who are outside of the home is breaking their promises to the kids or the mother in the home. You are not going to be considered respectful, professional. You're not going to be considered anything if you don't follow through on what you said you were going to do to those folks in the house. Think about it this way. If they're only going to see you or talk to you 10 or 12 times a year, and you miss 3 or 4 of those opportunities, your reputation has been damaged as a father. You're no longer considered dependable at that point. And so now I'm talking to the men who may have an opportunity, but you keep ruining it because you're not following through. And no mom, and I totally agree with this, no mom is going to allow you to be a part of their children's life if you continue to let them down over and over and over. They're only going to allow their children to see so much hurt and so much pain and so much disgust and so many false promises and so many going back on your word before they say enough is enough. Right? I think that equals, that situation equals living in a house with a husband and wife being argumentative all the time and always fighting and screaming, and you're doing damage to the children. It's not good for you to do that, and so you have to respond in those scenarios. So there are several things, and I don't know if anyone else has something else that may be shedding dark light.
I can shed all kind of darkness.
What you got, Jay?
Let me tell you. I was married for 16 years. I was with her for 23. One of the things I can tell you is one of the things that I don't want to say a regret. One of the things I'll tell you is a darkness that I have to bring to light is before I got married, I had other kids that she didn't know about.
Ooh.
And I got married, she still didn't know about it.
Ooh.
I made sure I had constant communication with them. I sent money, but she did not know what I was doing. So a lot of times, she was actually accusing me of cheating because of the conversation I was having with my daughters, because she didn't know who I was on the phone with because of the lifestyle that I chose. Okay? And this is something that I've seen, but I'm not going to blame it on what I've seen. This is one of the things I didn't take ownership of. Okay? Now it came to a head, and she ended up finding out, and I told her everything. But don't look at that. Just please don't look at. I had to still keep a relationship with my daughters. I made them, and I didn't want to forsake them. But again, just having a conversation doesn't make you that man in that house. I have to build a friendship. When those people say you don't build a friend with a child, you become that father. Well, I have to make a friendship because I wasn't in that house, but I had to respect their mother as well. So now I have a relationship with the mother in a way that I'm not there, but she still respects me. And she allows them to grow and manifest towards me.
Yes.
So I had to be a bigger man because I kept a secret. I had to take them to family reunions on my wife's side.
Yeah.
That's right, my wife's side. Where she didn't know, I took them to her family reunion where they didn't even, we wasn't comfortable, but the bottom line is, we your kids, and it's time to bury hatchets.
Yes.
All right? There's a lot of people that feel like, is this better, listen, my boys will grow up not knowing their sisters because of my poor ass decisions. I'm sorry that I didn't step up sooner. But you ever step up?
That's good, Jay.
My heart, it was in the right place, and my mind was saying, you know something, this ain't gonna work out well for you. It ain't gonna don't do this. And let me tell you something. When you listen to that, please understand, you hurt more people than you ever believe.
Yeah.
My daughters now visit me with their mother. Okay? I'm divorced now. My daughters, their mama come, my ex-wife, and whoever I talk to comes and spends time, because this is no longer a secret. And when I go, there's nobody gonna be sitting there talking about who are they, because that's what we're doing. When you keep secrets and then they want to show homage to your life and they ain't got nothing to add because you ain't told no damn body, it's your fault. But then you want to celebrate Father's Day. You ain't celebrating because you ain't doing. It takes you to take ownership of your own before you take ownership of somebody else.
Yeah.
How can I love somebody else's child and I don't love my own? This is the dirty side of reality today.
Yes.
I watch men show other women's kids more respect than they show their own.
Yes, Jay.
That don't make no damn sense because you just want what she got. How you gonna be respected by your own?
Yeah.
Because I promise you, when it's a day of reckoning, your own gonna tell you about yourself. It's the saddest thing in the world is when you don't even recognize what you do to your own, but you so loving to somebody else's, and you think that makes you a man. I question you and I challenge you because I don't see you.
Yeah. That's
A real man looks at his own, then I can give to another.
Yeah.
I can't give to your child, and I can give a damn about my own. Because I promise you, I'm just playing. I'm playing. It need to be played back and realized, because I promise you, my darkest days was way behind me. My brightest days in front of me.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Go ahead, sir.
I have $1 million question. How do you want to be celebrated on Father's Day?
Excellent question.
To be acknowledged.
Lift it up.
Okay. What does that include? For women, it's gifts, flowers, candy, dinner.
See, it's not about things and stuff. It's just about celebrating for me. I'm way beyond things and stuff. A handwritten card would be fine with me. I'm in my aging years, I've gotten emotional, and I live on those emotions now. Those are good. So I receive so much more. I receive so much more from so much less. So like Jay was saying, every once in a while, you know how on those holidays, particularly Father's Day or Mother's Day, you will receive a Happy Mother's Day or Father's Day from somebody who's like way out in the ethers of your life. They you ain't talked to them in forever, but you got a message, and they ain't put no emojis and none of that stuff. They just say Happy Father's Day. In that very moment, I was like, wow, they was thinking about me, and I'm touched by that. I'm really moved by that. So no particular, celebration is of the heart, right? And to be celebrated of the heart is all I really need. But let's get to worldly stuff. Plan something special for your fathers, for the fathers in your life. If it's not your father, maybe it's your niece's father, your brother, right? But the fathers in your life, I think it's important to participate in the day, right? Because we are all with mothers, we're all with fathers, and whether they did right or they're still here or whatever, we should still celebrate mothers and fathers. If I don't celebrate mine because he was no good, I'm going to celebrate my best friend's father because he was always pouring into me, or he was always supporting me, or he was there when I needed things, when I needed something the most. It's just about, it's really about being mindful that the celebration may not necessarily be about you, right? That there is a father out there who's raising a kid by himself, or a friend or family down the street. That may be a time for you to do something special for that father. Let's just say you got a neighbor 3 doors down raising a daughter by herself. You know what he's going through. You know what kind of challenges he has, right? Somehow you may be able to pour in. Just buying a card for him. Maybe just, hey, I just wanted to wave and say, Happy Father's Day to you. You're doing such a great job with your daughter. Compliments, because people oftentimes don't see how they impact the world. So if you got a father who just been handling business, going the extra mile, whether it's your father, next door neighbor, whatever, compliment them on what they did. Because they may not remember it, they may not pay attention, and it could be just little things, right? I have a friend of mine who when I go over to her house, the first thing that I want to do, if the garbage is full, I want to take it out. Mm-hmm. And that's just who I am. Number one, I can't stand to see it for garbage can. But number two, I know that if the garbage is going to be taken out, it's going to have to be taken out by a woman in that house. And I don't want that. Why don't I just
take trash out all the time
and take it? Yeah.
I got a garbage can. Yeah. I'm just saying. You take it all the time. That's my plug. It's Silly, LLC. Right? Take out your trash too.
But what I hear, oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And those words are like, well, damn, I'm just taking out the garbage, but man, they really appreciate that. That's not gone without being seen, and it's not gone without being valued. And as simple and as small of a thing as it is, I am pouring out when I do it, because I'm doing it from the heart. People can see that. And when they acknowledge it, it makes me feel real good. So complimenting your fathers on the work that they've done. I used to say to my father all the time, I lost my father about 1.5 years ago, but often, because as I've lived life, I've seen so many people without fathers. I've seen so many people have bad examples of fathers. I've seen people, tear down fatherhood. And my father is my hero. And I would always tell him, I would often get in these dialogues like, Pops, you just don't know, man, what you did for me. You just don't know how you just, you was at all my football games and my graduations. And, when I was, my first date stood me up, right? So my dad's peeking out the window watching me. And he know what I'm going through when I got to come back in the house. The sun going down, she didn't show up. And he took time to nurture me as I walked into the house. He said, well, Junior, we sat down and had a drink and talked about it, and he just loved up on me. I could have been hating on women after that if I hadn't had the right leadership, the right guidance. So those compliments do mean a lot, and there's probably all kinds of things that you could compliment. Maybe just take a clean sheet of paper and write down, thank you for doing all of this stuff, and just hand it to them. It doesn't have to be anything special out of the box, right? I promise you, men do receive those things very well. We oftentimes in this world can't show our emotion, but we are emotional, and we love to be loved like anybody else. I know we got hard hands and feet and sometimes hard heads, but we love to be loved just like you ladies love to be loved, right?
I totally agree.
Yeah, so it is, I think it's just about time.
I gotta have some fun on this one. You win.
I was just looking at time.
You're not the only one that little. I got you. We're gonna get you on the way back.
I'm with you.
On me. I love everything that you said. We're gonna do a little. One of the things I gotta say is, again, celebrating how do you. My whole thing is, I used to really look for it for my immediate family. Okay? So when I seen my sister, my mother, and my children say it, that was one of the things that uplifted me. And then I started getting older and I realized other people started saying it to me that was not my direct. It's my indirect. It's my contacts. It's the people that I dated that their kids still recognize me because of the things that I poured into them. That's what helped me realize it's deeper. It's real deeper when you're a good man, because a good man pour into everyone.
Yes.
See, our biggest problem is we just pour on our own. See,
Right.
my whole thing is, yeah, you can be happy about that. But what about other people you done touch? Because one of the things how you pour into somebody, you don't replace someone.
Yes.
One of the things I tell you is when I meet someone, I'm never trying to replace what they have. Now that's a challenge to any man that dates somebody. You should never put down another man to make that child feel empowered. Never. The holy thing is to get them to believe in themselves and to say that, hey, I'm here for you. It's not about what your daddy do. It is never about bringing down a down moment where they ain't there for you. It is just understand I'm a vessel for you. And then at that point, that person can realize that it ain't their daddy's fault. It could be a situation they go through, but it can't be blamed back on me. And then at that Father's Day, they say, hey, tell Jay Happy Father's Day. It means something to me because you have to do it. That brings me more joy than a gift you can buy that I wanted. You can buy me an egg and a grill. And I love the barbecue and I like to do different things. But just to acknowledge me that I poured into you is a seed that just blossomed because I didn't know what it was going to sprout.
That's so powerful. You want to say something?
Yeah, for me, and this is to me, for me, I can't speak, for all fathers or all men.
Okay.
But it's
Sit right here. Sit right here.
it's just real simple.
Sit right here. It's facing out. It's right here.
Because he's moving it.
I know.
Brother.
Sit down. We ain't hearing your ass. We ain't hearing that stuff.
Blah, blah, blah. So for me, it's just real simple. It's about, listening and the attention, in regards to, her question, what do you want for Father's Day? It's real simple. It's the fact that you hear me, you understand me, you listen to me. If you ask me what I'm doing, I'm on the computer, I'm looking at, a certain tool that I want to get. And it's probably 5-6 months ago when I was looking at it and I'm saving up on it. And, hey, boom, I get it for Father's Day. That means the world to me because
Yes.
I know that you are actually listening.
And caring. You're paying attention.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's just something that small.
Yes.
Or something big. I want another truck. All right, my daughter's coming. I need another truck. It's only like $210,000. Okay, so for anybody out there for Father's Day want to go in on
So you throwing hints.
I mean, hell, you did. You said a good two. I need a $200,000 truck. It's a great investment. I definitely will make sure you get some returns on it.
Listen, one of the problems I had as a child
What's that?
was figuring out what to give a man who has everything.
Listen, you got $200,000 truck.
You got
You make all kinds of money.
You got 9 trucks, so hey, buying you no damn truck.
Hey, why not? Shit, it made 10. 10 sound good than 9. 9 is an odd number. I want to be even.
Hey, folks, listen, we are having a great time as we always do. It's time for us to take our last break. We're going to come back and close this show off with a bang. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay. Jay, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. I think that was somebody turned it up during the break.
Just a little bit.
All right, and this is our final segment. We want to kind of close this show out. We've got about 12 minutes or so before we do so. And how would you summarize this show? What would you say, Jay?
I like to say we just trying to get you to open your eyes up and be your best possibility.
Yes.
When a lot of times they look at the day, it's not about the day. I promise you, celebrating Father's Day don't mean jack to me. That's a day.
Right.
You have to show somebody that's worth celebrating a day throughout the year.
Yes.
So let's get away from the day, because a lot of times everybody want to shine on that one day.
Yes.
How many calls? How many people text me? How much shit have you done throughout the year?
Right.
Reflects on how many people gonna reach to you.
Yes.
And I like to say, besides the women in your life that you might have talked to, how about how many kids? How many young people recognize you?
Yes.
Because if you're a powerful man, there's a lot of people that see you. And when they start saying things to you and recognizing you, then understand it's our community
Yes.
that we need to be impacting.
Yes.
Instead of just that woman that you trying to go after. Because again, once you get her, then what? No one means nothing? Well, the world means something. So give the world you.
There you go. There you go. That's powerful, man. There's 2 quick points I want to make, and I think both of them are pretty rich. For those of you folks who did not grow up with a father, many of you probably have some malice in your heart. Probably have a troubled heart as it relates to father. Every time father and dad comes up, it may not come to the forefront of your mind, but you can feel it in your spirit. That something is hurting you and it's challenging you. And I want to say that it's important that you try your best to not be judgmental, because you oftentimes will never really know what happened. And even if you find out some of what's happening, I'm encouraging you to find some empathy for your father. Now, just because I've reached my latter years, in my 40s and 50s, I'm starting to experience people who didn't meet their fathers until late in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen so many awesome reunions. I've seen people let their fathers back into their lives or go and seek their fathers, right? Some of our fathers really, really took the hard way. Not necessarily because they wanted to. Maybe they didn't have enough confidence. Maybe they just couldn't get a break. Maybe they had some major things that would just kept holding them down. They couldn't pick themselves up and do what they needed to do. Maybe they were afraid at the time. How am I going to take care of a child? Or that I'm just encouraging you to have empathy. And one of the most powerful things I can say to you to have empathy is that everything is as God meant for it to be. Right now, today, everything happened exactly the way the Lord meant for it to happen. And you have no more reason to hold yourself accountable, to hold him accountable, but what you do from today on matters. Because if you keep shunning somebody who potentially you may need to go and build a relationship with, I believe there's some karmic law that's going to come back and it's going to hit you in the wrong way. And you're not even going to know where it come from, but you know, somehow in your mind, you know that you have a responsibility to go and at least try. And maybe you have, and if you've tried and it didn't work, then let it go. Be healed that, hey, I tried and I let it go. But if you haven't tried, stop holding malice against things that you'll never really understand, The other side of the equation I wanted to share, and you guys can chime in here anywhere,
Feel free.
is that fatherhood is not just about children, right? I work in a man's environment in the car business, and there are grown men who are saying stuff and doing stuff that doesn't agree with me or agree with my spirit. The ones who I think are worthy to pour into, I'll pull them to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have a frank conversation with them about this, that, and the other. There's one young man who I work with now, so I'm in my 50s, this young man is in his 20s, and I can tell, everybody can tell, he's highly intelligent. Not only is he highly intelligent, but he's a go-getter.
Okay.
Right? You don't find that combination in people oftentimes. You can tell he's smart and he's willing to make stuff happen. He's willing to work. But he doesn't have direction right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am pouring into him just a little bit at a time. And he doesn't even know it right now. In fact, I'm about to ask him this coming week if he would allow me to become his official mentor. Right? And so I realized that I'm making a little impact, but if I'm going to make a lot of impact, I got to really bond with him. That means we're going to set time aside to sit down and talk about his future and his goals and what he wants and get him led in the right direction so I can express some form of fatherhood even to a grown man. right? That's how we heal the world, man. That's how we heal each other. That's how we heal ourselves sometimes, right? I'm going to do for this young man what my father never done for me.
There you go. Or I give him a job. How about that? Yeah, I can give him a job. Over at Dispose.
Yeah.
Because he's highly intelligent.
Yeah.
He's a go-getter.
Yeah.
It sounds like somebody I need.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Hook me up
And
tomorrow.
listen,
You about to lose him.
listen, if you help this kid
Keep
get his
on
license,
mentoring.
he'll be on your team forever.
Shit, you think I can't?
I know you can.
I can teach him all kinds of
But
things.
listen, and everybody has people in their lives they know they can pour into. Right? And we're just encouraged. That's what this show is about. It's about, of all the things that we've talked about, we come tonight to the fact that nothing matters. Just be the father that's in you. Do your best right now. Give when you have it in you to give. Right? Correct your mistakes by what you do today. Right? And you might even say, you know what? I did this back in the day. I'm going to do something tomorrow to make up for that. The Lord's looking. I promise you, the Lord He's measuring the heart of a man, right? And so, just 2 points to the wise,
I'll give you one more thing.
Go ahead, Jay.
Sometimes you got to get personal for people to wake up. And you wonder why I did some of the things that I did and what made me turn around. One of the things that made me turn around because my father passed away several years ago. And when he passed away, he had several outside children. I don't even know the damn number. I got so many half sisters and brothers. No disrespect to them. I know y'all be watching me. Y'all got me.
Yeah.
I ain't naming names because I don't know how.
We know.
Yeah. So how about this? When my dad's funeral happened, I was one of the youngest, and I had to go up and give a eulogy. And I did. And I brought my kids up to help me with this. And it was just standing there. But I watched my siblings, my halves, crying. That wasn't on the obituary, it wasn't recognized, and it was a total embarrassment to me. Because one, I didn't think I should have been up there speaking over him because his life meant so much. It was an honor though, but it was also like a curse. Because I have so many other sisters and brothers that can do this. And I gave the fortitude to do it. So I had to step up to it. But again, you got that encouragement to do it. And then I look at them and I see them hurt and they even recognize. I said I have to make a change that day. And that's what made me understand that I have to do better. You can't look at the worst. He's gone. I can't blame him.
That's right.
All right? He can say he should have said it to everybody. It's too late. But my life is still going. So you have to learn from what is being presented.
Right.
A lot of times it's easy just to blame and keep going. It's like change. If you want better, you have to do better.
Yeah.
And I seen what he did, and I'm not judging him. I can't.
Yeah.
That's a grown man that I love and respect.
Yes.
And I honored and I spoke over him highly. I made everybody stand up because that man never laid down that I seen. So I made everybody stand up and give him that salute as he went out.
Yeah.
But to me, I have to stand up even taller. Because again, how they wasn't recognized, I can't let my own go through the same fate. Because that fate was in front of me.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, change something.
Yeah.
And that's what I hold men to today. If you want something different and you want the world to be better, then you need to look at yourself and let's grow.
Yeah. And if I were talking to all the men in the world, I would say you have two objectives. Number one, your objective is to become your greatest possibility. Now, what does that mean? That means go get what you want out of life. You can have anything you want, go and get it. But number two, your primary objective is to take care of family. So do what you got to do and take care of your people. That's a whole life.
And there's
if you
number three.
achieve those two.
Achieve happiness.
Okay.
Always
Now-
add that. It's that equation.
See, Jay, man, I'm gonna tell you.
Because
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you
Go
brought that up. Cause see, I've been teaching, and I'm especially sharing it through Minecraft.
Mhm.
We're not here to be happy. It would be nice, but we are here to achieve. We are here to accomplish. We are here to make my son great, to make my daughter great. I'm here to make my life great. I'm here to leave a legacy. I'm here to build
And that will make
prosperity.
me happy.
And perhaps,
and
perhaps.
no, it's stating
Perhaps.
that with that you can't be happy if you don't feel that you can't be happy, you're selling yourself short. Because in order to give them truly what they need, you have to be happy giving them that. You can't just be, okay, I'm going to do everything to make them happy and you not be happy.
I mean, listen,
In order to give happiness, you have to have
listen,
happiness.
That is the old train of thought.
No,
But
no,
I'm
that
going to
is
tell you
pure
something.
fact.
My
You
grandfather,
have to be happy
My
to
grand-
give happiness.
my grandfather and your grandfather were providers. They weren't caring shit about no happiness. I got to put food on the table so my baby can go to college. I need to save money. I'm going to wear these shoes for another 2 months so I don't have to buy another one right now. Might catch a sale. Man, happiness is out the door. You can learn to be happy and succinct with life and synchronicity and all this beautiful stuff. But man, your life is going to be measured by the tasks you achieve, not by how happy you were. You can die broke and happy if that's what you want, but you get nothing for your family.
Is measured on you.
Well, let me give it like this on a
Your
close.
life is measured on that dash.
There you go. And
Your
that's-
life is measured on what you do
But listen,
for the world,
and-
for your family, for yourself.
for your family. That's right. That's how it's
That is
measured.
what your life is measured
Yeah,
on.
not on
You have
happiness.
to no.
Right.
No. See, that we have a disconnect in regards to what happiness is and how you achieve happiness.
No.
Because if the only thing that you now, Fred, you may feel that
He's on
for
his
you
first
to
show.
be happy, everything that you do is for someone else. But when you sit in that room by yourself and you talk to yourself, are you truly happy? You
Listen.
have to understand what happiness is before you can give happiness. Because if you only think that giving is just happiness for you, that could be true, but are you truly happy?
And you know what, man? I think every father, every provider is asking themselves that question right now. You're making a great statement, man. I'm not suggesting that that's not a good statement, but the dash is about he left his son 3 businesses. The dash is about he fought for civil rights. The dash isn't about he was happy. We're not talking about that.
No, because see, what you fail to realize is me leaving those 3 businesses for my son or for my family. That's what I decided to make me happy, so I could leave that legacy. Me standing up and showing my son what it is to be a man and stand up for your rights. That's my happiness. You can't sit here and say that, a man's job is just to provide and that's part of that's a part of his happiness, but he has to choose that to be his happiness. You just can't say that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be happy because you just given. In order to be happy, it has to be a balance. It has to be prudence. You have to decide and deliberate over decisions that you make. Just like you decided that you want to be a mentor for this guy. That's a part of your happiness.
Okay, it's just about time for us to close. And I don't disagree with anything you said, right? But the greatest example of life and livingness that I know is Jesus Christ. And he ain't really think about happiness. He had a mission at hand. And that's how I live my life. That's how I live my life, right? And
he Buddha.
I mean, that's the greatest example of my life.
So
You know what I'm saying?
if you want to go there, it's real simple.
What's that?
Jesus decided that in order for him to be great and show his greatest empathy and sympathy and happiness for humanity, that he was going to deal with not the people who are already good and know what they doing. He's going to go and deal with the ruffians, the drug dealers, the robbers, to make himself happy, to show that this is what I do for you.
Phil, you think
Come on,
the man
No,
wanted to go hang out with them people to make him happy? No, he said this is the work I have to
that's
do.
to make him happy.
I bet. All right.
Now,
This has
again,
been Bar Talk with Jay.
I can only say that to
Stop it with all
everybody.
that. Nah.
What I can tell you is, again, it's all about opinions. One of the things about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
duo on
absolutely.
this show, we have debates to make you realize to open up. Because again, I don't know which way you want to side. And it's not about a side. My whole thing is about a conversation to get you to be the best you. If you listen to this show and you can get something from it and have a conversation to be the best you, then I achieve my happiness. My happiness is to bring the best out of you to make your life fulfilled. Do not die.
Live.
Because if you don't live, you're going to die.
That's right.
But I want you to live a life that is for you.
Yes.
He gave us all purpose,
Yes.
and we're not fulfilling it.
Yes.
We're too busy dealing with the life that's been dealt and the hand that's been handed and understanding the blessing that he's trying to give you. Change up your thought and you will live your legacy.
There you go.
That's
And
all.
this has been Bar Talk with Jay. We want to thank you folks for being with us tonight. Just our opportunity to be leaders in our own community and share a powerful message. And, you know, sometimes get you folks laser focused on, you know, the right ideas. We just really appreciate you being here with us. And again, we're nothing without you. We're here every Thursday, Facebook Live, 7 to 9 p.m. Please go and check us out, share it with your friends and family, like us, subscribe, and come back and visit with us next Thursday. We love you folks. And with that, we are out.
Bar Talk with Jay.